Hey, I'm Tim from Thunder Ridge Bison. Today we're going to head over to Herrington's Quality Butchers to film another video for our Farm to Table series. We're going to show you how the animals go from the field to this right here. Stay tuned.
This is Thunder Ridge.
So we have the whole rib section of the animal here with a prime rib. This is the money shot. This is the Fred Flintstone of the piece right here. It's like something they'd hang on the side of their car. So we're going to get some really nice pieces out of here, a couple nice tomahawks, a couple prime rib steaks, and then some gorgeous looking ribeyes. So we're just going to break this down on the saw right now. This piece right here, the skirt steak, hangs down inside of the animal like a mini skirt, hence the name. Okay.
Yeah, people like that.
The skirt steak
for that, and I didn't even know that was really a thing.
It's actually the diaphragm hanging inside of the animal. It's great for fajitas, stuff like that. It's a big Spanish-inspired piece.
Kind of goes against what we said earlier about the least used muscle.
Yeah.
The most tender.
That's right, exactly.
This is probably the most used muscle.
That's the most used muscles are definitely the heart, the diaphragm, and the cheek. Because I believe bison are ruminants as well, right? So they're forever chewing their cud. So what I'll do is I'll So what I'll do is I'll cut this off here. I'll turn this and I'll just notch this right here, and then I'll cut this off.
Yeah, perfect.
Awesome. Okay, we're good. Good there. I'm going to take that right off. Make sure. So we broke down to the major pieces there. As you can see, that's the best part of the whole animal right there. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Gorgeous looking ribeye in the middle. Just gonna take some of these bones off here because, like we mentioned earlier, those little suckers,
They're very, very sharp.
they are very sharp. Awesome. So I'm a big fan of cutting steaks no less than 1 inch, regardless of how well you like them done. Even if you like your steak well done shouldn't be dry.
No.
Well done and juicy is perfect. And for me, 1 inch is at least the way to do that. So I'm gonna cut these at about 1.25 inches. Perfect. A couple ribeyes and a roast, and we're good.
Yeah.
So we've got these real fancy plastic tools here, and they're just bone dust scrapers. As you can see, when the blade goes through the meat and the bone, it leaves a really nasty looking dust on the outside here. We always remove this on everything we cut in the saw. It's literally like chewing on sand, I would say. That's just one thing a good butcher should always do. Chime these. So what I did there is I chimed it. And to explain to you what chiming is the rib bones come down and they attach to the vertebrae to come to the feather bones. You remove this so that you can still leave the rib bones intact because they're really nice, long, simple, non-jagged bone. And we can remove all these bones on the side that are a little bit a little bit dangerous and not particularly nice. So we're just going to knock the face off of this here. Okay, so we're going to just trim up some of the outside edge here. So I've got 2 ribs here. We're going to cut them nice and even all the way through. There's a couple of tomahawks. These look really, really good. These have a massive wow factor, right, Jer?
Absolutely, yeah.
One of those things that make people go, wow.
It's a novelty item, it's a showpiece.
Yeah.
You know.
So I'm just going to clean the rib bones up on this a little bit. Keep them both the same. So all the bits that just came off of here, that makes good trim. Good for burgers, all your ground. I actually have a special little knife that I use for Frenching of the bones. It's just a chef's turning knife. I like the hooked, funky little edge on that. I think it's really great for, it's got a good stiff blade on it. And doing this with my normal cutting knife would pretty much destroy the edge.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I spare my knife this brutal beating and just use this little knife like this.
You can strip them with string too if you tie it.
Yeah, I've seen people do the string trick where they put the string around a post on the table, wrap it around the bone, and then just pull it off. I've tried it 1,000 times, but I've never made it. I've never gotten it to work. I've ripped the bones out of the meat. I've just torn the meat to shreds. It's just an absolute nightmare. I've seen people do it on camera and they got it just fine, but you probably didn't see the 10,000 takes it took to screw it up. So, and the main reason I try to get all that off is that burns, and it makes the end result a little less desirable. There we go. So tell me, Brian, you've got a field full of bison and a really nice store, farm market store. How often do you guys eat bison at your place?
Yeah, we're at least a couple times a week. Probably, I would say it's pretty much replaced all of our other red meats, unless I'm coming to you to get some.
Good save, good save.
No, but you know what, we really appreciate just, I think we've almost become like food snobs, right? You just become accustomed to having good stuff. So I know if I'm getting it here, like if we're looking for a treat or something, we'll come here and get something for you if we're trying to get something a little different. But I would say it's pretty much replaced the lion's share of our red meat.
Okay, so there's the prime rib. This end of the prime rib is closer to the neck or the blade. And this end of the prime rib is a little bit closer to the hind quarter. There's a second muscle right on the top of it here called the cap. So in this particular case, we're going to cut that cap right off. You can leave it on. I find that piece not quite as good.
No, it's not as tender as the rest.
It's not as, exactly, it's not as tender. It's got a good flavor, but it's something that would need a little bit more low and slow than the rest of this, I would say. Okay, we're going to get that strap out of the back of it there. We're just going to face this. So this outside edge on it here, it's got a little bit more age on the outside of it. It just doesn't quite look as nice, as you can kind of see to compare the two right there. That just comes from the exposure, the oxidization of sitting outside. How much age would you guys like from the processing or the harvesting point to the retail cutting point? Beef, I have a 21-day minimum. You can get up to 45, 60 days, and some
Primal cuts, yeah.
on the primal cuts. Yeah, exactly. And the flavor profile after 21 days changes dramatically depending on whether it's dry or wet aged.
Yeah.
But what about bison? How long would this stuff sit for, do you guys, before you?
It's leaner, so it won't stay quite as long as a AAA type beef.
So you can do 10 days maybe?
I would say 10 to 14 is you're processing it before the 14 days.
Yeah, yeah. I would 100% agree with that. The fat content on the outside of
Absolutely.
the commodity beef is what keeps it.
Absolutely. Keeps the oxygen off the meat.
So you just cut the blades there, or the bones.
Yes.
And I know we got a roast from you a couple weeks ago, and it was like that
Yeah.
as well. I know it makes it easy for you when you're at home. But
That's
what was
100% why.
Yeah, okay.
That's 100% why. Forethought, we're trying to make it so that people at home, it's convenient. A lot of people don't necessarily have the best set of knives. So when you go home, obviously everything's roasted with the bone on. It's just that much better, like a prime rib. And when you go home, you
essentially doing that for your customers.
it's exactly right. Just go home, they can cut the strings, remove the bones, and they've got a boneless roast tray ready to cut.
Yeah.
There, all done. There we go. That's it for the rib. And that's the whole front quarter of bison, all done up. So now we're gonna move on to the
What
hind.
did we end up with total out of all that? Like, I know that's the rib section, but what did we end up with?
So we had the blade, we had chuck short ribs that you said you were gonna go home and make for your anniversary dinner.
Yeah.
What else did we get out of the chuck? That was about it. We boned out some stew beef. Yeah, exactly. There was a lot of options there. We had the brisket as well for the at-home smoker, the at-home barbecue connoisseur. There was a lot of other things in there that you could get. You could spend hours and hours trying to explain every single little muscle, but it's like we were talking about earlier. It's a little bit.
Well, when we were talking about like how much you get out of a side, you know,
Yeah.
somebody walks in and they want 15.
That's right. You just can't get it
15
in one
rib
piece.
steaks.
No.
Exactly.
And we didn't even never did take any ribeyes off that.
Right.
So,
Right? You're right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
which is, I mean, it is. It's only as big as it is. And
That's right. Even still, like that's pretty glorious right there. To me, that looks great. So awesome. Now we'll move along to our hind quarter.
Hey guys, thanks for following along. I hope you enjoyed the video.
And if you did, make sure to like and subscribe to follow along with the rest of our farm journey. And check out the link below to see the rest of the Farm to Table series.